Shamans. We understand because we take Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Hey everybody! Hey, it's
Oh my
Monday.
gosh, I can't see nothing.
It's Super Bowl Winners Monday.
Oh god.
Should we quarterback? What would they call armchair quarterback today?
Sport ball. Yay!
They scored a goal.
Go Bolts.
Yeah, go Bolts. They are doing.
How many home runs did they hit yesterday?
8.
Nice.
Wow. Right. I know.
Nice.
Tag Shamans, no sport guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, huh?
Yeah. It's like,
There was a game on last night. I actually watched the Grand Tour. They came back with their second episode of the last season. So
I had to go to Tampa to pick up tea and go to the museum.
Yes.
And that is when I found out on Friday that it was sport ball weekend.
Are you one of those uppity-uppities that don't like football?
Absolutely, and very proud of it. Thank you. I believe the word is snob.
Congratulations, Buccaneers. Way to go. Good job. You did good. You won. You got the big silver trophy.
Yeah, the Heisman Cup.
Gosh.
Isn't it all the same? Does it matter? I don't know. I mean, the fact that I even know the name Heisman Cup is pretty impressive to me.
We're a
Is that
title
hockey?
city now or something like that.
Well, we also hold the world record for being the first city to be in the Super Bowl and host the Super Bowl.
And win.
And now win the Super Bowl. That is an amazing trifecta, quite frankly.
We are smart. We do know what that all
yes.
is.
Thank goodness we had a whole bunch of postboard cutouts of people in the stands.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is that what we had?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
awesome.
this is the only thing I'm going to say about it. It was a one-sided game, and halftime sucked.
Well, wow.
If I wanted to watch guys run around with their jock straps on,
I was actually in the halftime show back
John
in
Boyle
2000, I think. And I was down on the field. That was a
You were a
blast.
flag carrier?
No. They had a mock rock concert go on, and they needed thousands of fans.
yeah.
And so we were down on the field.
you got to go to the game for the halftime and then get kicked out.
and then get out. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
can't
We were
watch that
bussed in and removed.
2003?
No, 2000. Or, well, whenever it was, right around there.
2003.
2003?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. It was enormous fun.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
Typically
a riot.
They are.
Yes.
All right. So as normal, did you tech this weekend?
I think I did. Oh, yes, actually. My wife does a lot of sewing. And she does a lot of pattern creation and modification and so on. And this is not like, the thin onion skin you get off of, from the stuff at Joann's. She downloads historical patterns and everything. Then she has to, move them in, size them, and then output them to our printer. But what she has discovered is that you can use a small projector over your table.
Yes.
And then draw directly onto the fabric from the projected image of the pattern.
Yeah.
And so
That's tech. You tech.
I mounted the projector, ran the electrical up into the
you're
attic.
super tech.
So it has,
everything.
I know, I'd touch the dangerous.
Put a cable on it and everything?
There's no cable.
What? Oh, you
No,
drive,
it's
thumb drive.
it's all AirPlay.
Oh, okay.
From her MacBook. And so
6 projectors in here and none of them are AirPlay though.
Yep.
I got to put a cable to them.
And this is like way up, and the thing is, her cutting table is right under the ceiling fan. So we had to make sure.
That was hard, that thing spinning around.
I
like
know.
that, right?
It's like it kept turning off the image. The thing is,
it just kept doing this.
She never turns the fan on because it blows the pattern pieces all over the place. So I aligned the blades just right. okay, and set it up just right so that it comes down and shoots a huge image onto the table. But because these projectors are generally very short focal length,
Right.
okay, they have a wide spread. So you can get it just above the fan blades, and bam!
As she's doing the pattern, somebody goes in there and flips on the fan.
I can't do this. So that was a ton of fun.
Sorry, we're having fun at your expense.
Sorry.
We love you, man.
No, it's okay. I'm done. I'm not going to talk anymore.
No, you got to talk.
No, I don't.
Well, that is good, though. But at least you did something that was useful.
It was, and what was amazing was how well it all worked out.
Well, there you
Because what I ended up doing was, this was rather than trying to go, I went up in the attic and I looked, and there was no beam near it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
okay. They're all 24-inch on center. It's like, you know what? Wife had the idea. It was a great idea. I took a piece of wood, put it down onto the drywall upstairs, and then screwed down into it. Screw then pops out the bottom, right? But who cares? Because it holds it in place while I go down underneath and screw up in from underneath. And I had a massive bracket that I then cut down and shaped and everything else. So it was exactly right. Painted it white. So it matches the ceiling, matches the projector. Everything is white. It's one little bracket, 1.5 inches wide. Okay, that comes down the back, and then it's just a regular, 1/4 inch screw, because this thing has a mounting bracket on the bottom for a tripod stand. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to just screw it right in place, and it was crooked. Okay, it was off a little bit this way, and then it was a little off this way. So this bracket, I was actually able to bend the bracket and twist it while it's just into the drywall ceiling. That's how well that system worked, of going through a nice big, 10 by 10 inch board up above the drywall.
I'm just thinking of
3 hours later when it falls and knocks her in the head, knocks her out.
No, ain't going to happen. I could hang on that thing, I swear. That was really, really, it worked out very well. So and so there's like nothing showing.
That's good.
Ain't
What'd you do?
Ain't scared.
Yeah, ain't scared.
Nope.
What'd you do this weekend?
I put together a nice shed floor on Saturday.
Oh God.
7 by 7 floor, made out of 2 by 6 and 3/4 inch plywood.
Wow.
And then after that, on Sunday, I put together a whole shed and put it up in the backyard.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, spent the whole day, both whole days doing that.
Oh
It's
my.
pretty fun. I'm really sore today.
It would be.
But
I was doing a lot of climbing around up in the attic and everything, and so it's like by Sunday night, I'm like, I can't move.
Yep.
I'm done. Yeah, sorry, I walked away. I walked away from my microphone.
I sit down and I start screaming. My daughter was watching me, and I was in the shed as I was putting it together, and I had to bend down and grab a screw that was on the floor, and I literally stopped halfway, and I was like screaming, "Ow!"
Yeah.
And she's looking at me just. It was hilarious.
That's how it works.
Yep. I even hurricane strapped that puppy down too.
Dang.
Well, I had just one of those it's a Craftsman 7x7 shed.
Yeah.
Those plastic ones. And after you build it, I literally was like, my big butt's in between my two sheds, because I have now two sheds, and I'm trying to strap everything down, and I didn't finish mounting it to the base, and the whole shed just kind of like slid. And I'm like, yeah, I could just imagine what this would do in the wind.
Windstorm.
Yeah, this will work well.
Yeah.
Well, after last week, we were building the micro studio over in Tampa, and it was a bad week. It was a lot of work, but we got everything built, all put up together. Everything's running. Then all of a sudden, we looked at it, and the guy that bought the LED screen, Topher, he's like, the whites are not white. They don't all match, because you don't run a white screen to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
white balance, yeah.
so he called them up, and they're like, oh, yeah, we sent some wrong panels.
Oh, nice.
So now we got to take it all apart. But anyway, this weekend, I went up to, so I decompressed. No tech.
Good.
No tech whatsoever. Matter of fact, went up to Brooksville to this little Spiracia and Witherell winery. Mm-hmm. And I have been the guy that says I can't drink wine because it tastes like crap. Can't drink beer, it tastes like crap. To me, it's just because of the taste bud thing. Found a wine I could drink, found a beer I could drink.
Wow.
And they had this thing called Brooksville iced tea. Oh my God.
Tastes like the Wiki Wachi River.
It tastes like sweet tea with a little bit of alcohol. I'm like, oh God, this is dangerous. Now we're going to go up there in the RV in 2 weeks, because my son's going to be using the back property or there to Phil. But I'm sorry for yawning. We are all tired today. But yeah, so I decompressed, and then yesterday I literally sat my butt down after church and ate and watched TV and did a little bit of laundry and stuff like that. So that's all I did. So that was decompression day.
Sweet.
But anyway,
Man.
if you're looking for a good place a good winery,
Cool.
it's
Keep it in mind.
right. So I got a lesson in wines though, right? So I read,
John.
I know I got schooled.
Why are you telling us this?
Because here I didn't know that every grape in the world is a muscadine.
What?
A muscadine.
Aren't those the ducks there with the really ugly faces?
No, those are waterfowl turkeys, and those are the water turkeys. They're actually in the turkey family, not in the ducks. Anyway, but I was thinking, I'll throw a little knowledge out there. So you do a hybrid of muscadine, blah blah. He goes, all grapes are muscadines. That's what they are. I said, I grew up not knowing that. I grew up in Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee and the whole thing. We had these big wild muscadines that grew like that big.
Yeah.
And we'd eat them, and when they were green, we would throw them at each other.
Right.
And when they were rotten, we would throw them at each other because you knew you got hit.
So you had a
And when they were
window
just
right in the middle
you could
for
eat 'em
eating.
all. You're like, don't throw these are good. But anyway, but it's good. I tell you what, though, they have this raspberry wine
Yeah.
that is off the hook. They have a blueberry, and then they have a chocolate raspberry.
Mm.
And I'm
sounds
thinking to
good.
myself, wines at chocolate.
Anything with chocolate works
My
with
wife
me.
and
I
I
don't
both
care.
sat down, relaxed. A whole bottle was gone in like 30 minutes.
Did you ever have liver and onions with chocolate sauce on it?
No.
Okay.
It will never.
Wow.
Neither have I. I just thought of it.
We've just
you
run
know.
over the show.
All right. So anyway, 15 minutes in, and
That's
we're already
it.
we've already digressed. Anyway, so the first one we're going to talk about is, and this is not new. It's just we're going to talk about it. But Governor Ron DeSantis takes aim at big tech companies and social media platform. He wants to make sure that our personal information and our side is protected.
That's part of it.
So what else is it to it? Because
Well,
that's
he
as
also
far as
wants
I
to
got
make
about-
sure that
Anthony knows.
any social media platform that deplatforms a political candidate, okay, during the election cycle is going to be heavily fined.
He called out the big ones. He called.
Oh, yeah.
He called out Twitter, Google, Apple, Amazon,
Yep.
and Facebook.
Yep. He's,
he's
it's
going
like,
after
you
he's
got
going after
no
the big
business,
boys.
and the thing is, they're the ones with the deep pockets.
Yep.
I mean, I know of a medical case right now that if they can get a state attorney general to bite onto it, it's going up against the big labs and the big everything, and you're talking $5,000 per incident per player. So you get 3 players involved: insurance companies, the big labs, and so you're looking at billions of dollars in fines. And that's what makes it worth an attorney general to go ahead and spend a few weeks dogging these guys for a settlement, because if it's worth billions, the state coffers can make millions.
So he's making it. He wants it to where if you're in Florida,
Yep.
there's no sidewinding of this candidate we don't like. We're not going to let him get it seen out there, or his message needs to do it. His is it's which is good, but he also wants massive transparency. Which I think you were saying this. If you're going to use, you're from Florida and you're going to use Facebook, you got to sign this release of crap.
There's going to be. They're going to either have to have some kind of moderation, groups that monitor everything that's happening in Florida, or they're going to have to, release some kind of, form to everybody who lists that they live in Florida. And then next thing you know, you're going to probably get a pop-up on your Facebook account. Hey, please sign off on this to relinquish your rights to be able to use our platform still.
And that's when we say no.
And
We're gonna talk about that here.
and Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of business in Florida.
Yeah.
So they need to think about that seriously if they want to. And again, they're thinking about a lot of things seriously right now. But I think the gauntlet's really being thrown down on this thing at this point.
I think across the board on everything.
I do,
I've
exactly.
noticed everything just suddenly became really quiet again, kind of.
It's possible.
Oh, just the opposite. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of noise. A lot of noise. Where you're allowed to express it. Yes.
So we're gonna jump. Do you guys ever? Do you read the Epic Times?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So they were demonetized.
Yep.
By YouTube.
Yep.
And I'm going to jump in and give them $1
Yeah.
a month for two. I'm gonna give them I'm gonna give them $12 so I can just do it because that's crazy.
It's absurd. I mean, who was it? I was watching someone. I think it was DeSantis. He made a hell of a speech on this, and he's saying, there's a lot of businesses out there that are just absolutely terrified right now that they're going to find themselves deplatformed, demonetized, unable to advertise. Small businesses in Florida that have taken the invitation to come in and use social media, okay, to help grow their businesses, and now they're going to be cut off from their customers because of the way they voted in 2016 or a comment they made in 2014. And it really is spooking a lot of serious, and DeSantis really called it out. And he said, our business owners do not deserve this. They cannot operate in this environment, and it has to stop.
Okay, so let's okay, I know I'm completely going off of our notes here.
Whatever.
So what happens to a business that this happens to? So
Okay.
say you get shut down off of Facebook, you get shut down off of Twitter, YouTube demonetizes you, which for us,
demonetizing is different from getting shut down.
Okay, so you get shut down.
It is light.
So you get shut down, right?
Yep.
So now you do not have the ability to go on those platforms.
Right.
Now what do you do?
Well, that's the thing is starting about 4 years ago. Coincidentally, I think not. Certain places were starting to develop. We've talked about developing, our own, social media platforms and stuff.
Those things. I think we're going to go right into what you're getting ready to talk about.
Yeah, and so they ended up. Gab is probably the real pioneer in that
Gab
field.
Is
it's a Twitter Facebook
version,
hybrid.
Okay, Twitter hybrid.
Okay, it's a hybrid, and what they ended up discovering basically was that they found themselves demonetized. Okay, for any of their stuff, they found that their payment clearinghouses were shutting them off. PayPal shut them off. And so they're like, okay, this is a problem. And they anticipated that their servers would also get shut off at some point. Now, these are people that have perfectly strict guidelines, community guidelines. They have strict enforcement of the guidelines, nothing illegal, no violence, no advocating violence, none of that stuff. Okay, so it's all out there, and don't believe what people are telling you about it, because it's all there and it works. And they ended up going through and building everything from their own payment portals to their own server farm to, everything right out the board, even to the point where, get a load of this one, okay, they looked at it and they said, okay, our next big threat is that Chrome, Safari, Explorer could block us at the browser level.
Yeah.
They don't have an app in the App Store. They never did. They didn't want one. When you go on gab.com with your phone, it is like an app. It's amazing. They've built a mobile app that really runs, or a mobile website that runs like an app.
Well, it's a microsite.
It really is. Yeah.
We had the same thing with a company, Easy Card.
Yep. But
an Easy Card,
right.
Basically, it's a micro app.
So they over the last 4 years have done piece by piece by piece, even to the point where they've even developed their own browser. Okay, so that if you get blocked, you can download Dissenter, which is the name of their browser, and you can still go to any website you want in the world, okay, and not be told this website isn't for you. And so they have, and they are probably the largest new social media platform out there.
So, but it reminds me of Parler.
Yes, this came before Parler, and what's really sad was that Gab went through all this, and Parler was started by Mercer and Matz, Matze, okay, and John Matz, and then Dan Bongino, who's a very outspoken talk show host. He got involved in it. He bought in. And he was all over this thing like, no, we have got to firewall this thing and fireproof it, okay? And we've got to do what Gab did. And Matt's kept saying, no, we don't, no, we don't, no, we don't.
No, you got to do.
And then on January 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever, they found out, yeah, you do, when everything they had the plug pulled.
Right.
And, I mean, including, they were on Amazon servers.
Do you have
so
to...
it's all gone.
Right. Do
Yep.
you have to download Dissenter to be able to look at gab.com?
No.
So
No, Gab is still there right now.
So gab.com can be looked on a
Yes.
Google platform.
Yes, you can look at it just about anywhere. Now, I will say that when I went to download Dissenter in their Apple version, I was a bit dismayed when Apple informed me that their SSL certificate was expired and so they wouldn't do it. I'm like, no, it isn't. No, it is not. Okay, absolutely not. And so it actually blocked me from making my choice to add it to my computer. And so I've got to figure out how to go around to make sure that I at least have access to it and figure out, do I need to dig out my old laptop and pop it on there to make sure it's alive and well. But then again, I will say SSL certificates, this is on a business related, they are being ridiculously wonky. Okay, I cannot tell you how many screens I'm getting, my clients are getting, or you're trying to go to a website, and we got one client that's been back and forth. I spent 19 hours one week trying to fix an SSL situation, finally got it fixed, and then not 6 hours later, another client calls with the same problem. Yeah. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. And it's a nightmare because they're not reading the SSLs. And I thought that was ridiculous. But yesterday I went to buy something for my wife for her birthday. Okay. And I couldn't get through because I got all the way to the cart page and the pay now. And it popped up with I'm sorry, this is not a valid site. I'm like, fine, whatever, Then I go ahead, like 2 hours later, and I'm trying to buy a domain name, okay, for a client, and it's telling me GoDaddy is an unsafe site. I want you to think about that for a minute. Okay? People who own and sell more SSL certificates than any other company in the world is not a valid site. So there's something really wonky going on with SSL certificates right now.
Right.
Okay, so I can't claim.
You didn't answer my question.
Which was?
What does a business do
Yes.
if they've been knocked off these platforms?
Right.
I can understand, go to Gab and blah, blah,
Yep.
but you still got to get people to those websites.
Well, here's the thing. There are already millions and millions of people on those websites. Okay? Gab they got flooded. They had to run out and buy new servers day after day after day because when Parler got shut down, Gab exploded, and Parler had just exploded on November 4th. Parler went through the roof. Now, Parler only had 15 million users, but Gab only had like 20 million. Suddenly, Gab has 35, 40 million users now. So the whole thing is just, it's all growing. And they're beautiful websites. They're incredibly well done, both of them. And, Gab is fun to use. It's easy to use on the phone. The Parler app I thought was better. Okay, that I was quite comfortable with. But I will say that those two present, unfortunately, a lot of political content right now.
Right.
Okay, but if you think about it, that will pass. As the energy seeps away from that, people will still have left Facebook. They're not going to be there anymore. They're not going to go back. They're going to stay where they are. So you have an opportunity right now as a business owner to start building a market in those places. You don't have to do it on politics, but start getting over there and start putting your useful content, your rich, organic content, as we've talked about a million times here on the program. Answer the questions that your best customers are asking.
Right.
and put that into article form. I mean, John's sitting here asking me this question. Yes, go to We Craft Sites. There's an article out there on this exact topic, what to do if you are a business owner and you want to do these things. And that's what we have. And so by building your audience over here in these other social media platforms, you won't face the same kind of risks. Now, Parler will be back up in the next few days. And so, and some people had hundreds, even thousands, tens of thousands of followers on there. And so, that'll be back on soon and that'll be up and active. But the fact of the matter is, Gab is heavily flooded. And right now, if you just keep hitting refresh, it will come back up. They are having a hell of a traffic problem. And you know what? Until you're on one of these platforms, you don't know who has been banned. Because Twitter doesn't put out a list, okay? But you start to see the people going, just got banned, I'm banned, I'm back, I'm out. And these are politicians, business owners. I mean, it's got business owners terrified right now that they're going to be deplatformed in their business because they've been out on some social media making comments.
Well, just because we're talking about a website, you're not talking just websites. This has to do with pretty much anything that happens in business.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so for instance, from payment processing,
bank accounts being shut down.
You gotta understand that as much as you can pull into yourself and manage yourself, then you own the content, you own the platform. There's tons of open source software out there, websites, even operating systems for that matter, that you can run that'll allow you to do what you need to do without having to be compromised or have, Big Brother or somebody, deciding what you get to do with your business or not do with your business.
I mean, there was a spate, like 5-6 years ago where they were shutting down, the banks were closing accounts for gun dealers.
Yeah.
Okay, and you want to talk about a nightmare. You wake up one morning and your money's gone and you can't get any more. Okay, that is a really crappy situation to be in. But we as, responsible citizens of the web, okay, and we are here to help you make these decisions, okay, so that you are insulated. Because this is rapidly becoming a two-economy system. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to be in both. But it's really not okay to be in neither. Okay, I don't know how you survive. That's like, open a stall at the flea market and only take cash. Okay, that's about the only way you can do that one. But as far as the rest of it goes, this is a weird place. But I want to point out, in both those options, especially on Gab, Gab has actually put their source code out on the web. Yeah. Okay? It is fully accessible and 100% transparent. Even their algorithm for deciding which posts you see. You know what that algorithm is? Most recent posts from somebody you're following. That's their algorithm. That's what makes it so easy. Okay? Is because they are not selecting whose news or views get upvoted and downvoted, which ones get promoted in your feed and which ones don't. It's simply, if you're it's like the original days of Facebook, where if you had fans who were following your store, and you put up a post, your fans would see it. I know, what a concept, huh? But here they actually do it. But Gab does it because they have what's called a pro membership, and for $199 a year, you can go ahead and you are you're supporting them, but they aren't gathering any of your data whatsoever. They are not selling it. There is no way to actually advertise on Gab. I want you to think about that for a minute. You can't buy an ad. So how do you get your business message? Remember I talked to you about your organic, rich content?
Yes.
That actually answers the questions?
How about that?
That is where you can jump in and become a leader. And this thing is like, this is, I don't want to call it the Wild Wild West, but it's the Wild Wild West, okay, right now. And there are land claims to be made. There are audience to be, claimed and staked. And you can go out there and do this now, okay? Because right now, because everything is well, about 90% of the content out there is politics, you can be the alternative right now with your business, and you can be out there gathering some of these, 40 million new customers that are out there right now that are looking for options of people who are on Gab or Parler or the other one, Minds. Now, Minds is really, really different. Minds actually pays you for creating content on their site. If you bring in an influencer, okay, through them, you get a percentage of the money they make creating their highly influential content. Now, they pay you in their own, Bitcoin alternative, okay? But what you can do with that is up to you within the site. And there are things you can do within the site, including buying ads, which help you expand your reach and influence. So you can create your reach and influence, leverage it, and then leverage it again. It becomes geometric. Minds is, and this is what I love about it, is it is new. It is something nobody has tried before in this way, and that is really what the free market is supposed to be about. These people are being smeared and crushed, okay, by the legacy social media companies, and for no other reason we should be helping these little guys, because their platforms are just as good as the other ones, and there is nothing wrong with the ability to go out there and engage with people of all different sorts and stripes and whatever. So that is that's where that stuff is at. So yeah, if you go to the article there on wecraftsites.com, you will find .com. You will find that the those three companies, and Parler will be back up soon, will give you excellent alternatives. Now, if you're worried about your web hosting, okay, give us a call. We can also set you up with that. There are companies out there that are just as committed as Gab, okay, to making sure that you have the ability to stay online, even if somebody decides you don't deserve it. So nobody else should be able to make that choice for you. Nobody should be able to deplatform people. And
we're streaming on Gab now.
And you see how easy that was? We are now streaming on Gab, where we've been talking about Gab for quite some time. Well done. So, John, you just signed up, opened your account, okay, went in.
$99 thing.
Yeah, and bam, he's in.
Less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, in less than 5 minutes, we are now live streaming on this platform. So this is something you could be doing too. I mean, Gab has been a godsend, and Gabsend.
Get
but
gobsmacked.
I mean, when you look at their complete their news feeds and everything else that they have on that channel, it is just outstanding. And
yeah,
to
I'm gonna
know
sign up for their TV side.
Yeah, I mean, Gab TV is their YouTube alternative. Okay, I mean, literally, they've looked at every piece and they've said, okay, what else? Now, the reason is, okay, Mr. Gab, okay, the guy Torba who created it, he was working in Silicon Valley. He was the Christian in Silicon Valley. And he that was a joke, and one he makes often. But he discovered that there was a hell of a need. Sorry about that. There was a need for an alternative that was going to be friendly to patriotic Americans, however you want to refer it. And so he started building this thing in 2015, I think. And it's growing in leaps and bounds right now. And I tell you, it's heavy in politics at the moment because that's the flavor of the month. But keep watching. Keep watching. And what you're going to see are smart business people like you and you and you, okay, are going to be over there already. And you don't have to go in and post about politics. Go in and post about your company. Post about what it is you want, okay? And talk, bring value to the conversation. Remember, Facebook started off as the Facebook, and it was designed for college students to find out what was going on this weekend on campus.
No, it was made originally to grade the women from other campuses.
Okay. And look.
Then it went to the social scene.
Yes. But look at it now, okay? And you've got grandmothers sharing their videos of their last, skydiving trip. And it's like, who would have thought it would migrate there?
Right.
And become this massive political force as well. Okay, it's supposed to be for college students, right? So get in early, become a legacy member. I'm not saying buy anything. I'm saying, and no, that's a good idea, but what I am saying is get in there and actually start to stake claim to your audience. Because right now it is young and fresh, and you can grow an audience really fast on this puppy if you are providing valuable information.
Gab space.
Gab space. Oh my God.
That's funny.
My Gab. So that was
so bad.
that was my session for today.
There you go.
Yep. I'm
right.
through gabbing now.
You do gabbing now?
Yep.
All right. So let's just jump back to.
As John's building his
I'm
media
building my
platform.
Gab platform right
You
now.
are.
He's on the platform. He's building his
Sorry.
media empire. He's taking
Well, I
over
got on
Gab.
Rumble.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I was on Parler.
Which
now I'm
surprisingly,
on Gab.
Rumble is still up, and I'll bet they have their own servers.
I bet they do too.
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about something that you're going to love talking about, right?
Mm.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to step down as CEO.
I saw another news article about that.
Yeah, you put Jeff Bezos announces he will step down from Amazon to focus on being a Bond villain.
Yes, exactly, and that's the real news.
He would be. He's
He's
Bond villain.
perfect for that job, actually. Do you have any clever last words, Mr. Zuckerberg?
So Bezos he's stepping down because he wants to get to the development side for new products,
Yeah, the stuff that he's getting busted on left and right, for stealing products. So maybe they'll actually just start to develop their own. That would be cool.
Been found guilty?
Has he ever gone
Has he
to
been
court over it?
convicted of stealing somebody else's patent?
I don't know yet. Okay, I don't think it's patents. It's things that aren't patent. Okay, he's stealing their manufacturing, alter the patent a little bit, and off he goes.
The very thing that
Yeah.
Is that why he's really stepping back? He's waiting.
No.
for a barrage of lawsuits coming. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, there it is.
No.
I wasn't going to say that.
No, he's part of this elite force of CEOs.
I mean-
they're all stepped back from the company, and they're all laughing at Zuckerberg saying, you could be part of our group, but you're not.
I am puzzled about the timing of the Bezos, stepping down right after they dumped Parler. It was days after they dumped Parler that he made the announcement.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you put your foot into something there that you didn't want to go, I need to separate this from my company?
His lawyers
I don't know.
are like-
It's weird. I don't know.
His lawyers are like,
Probably just
I think
coincidence.
it would be best that you step back a little bit and show
Dude,
no.
And by a little, I mean a lot.
He can't. He
he
could
can.
literally stop right now and just party for the rest of his days.
Exactly.
It would be fine.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet we stop getting so many Alexa devices coming out all of a sudden?
We can hope.
Alexas and
I
everything.
like Alexa.
You go right ahead.
She turns my lights on and off when I don't want feeling lazy. I don't think I can
Okay.
turn them off.
Except for when you ask for the light to turn off and she adds freaking shaving cream to your shopping list
Well,
without
that
knowing.
does happen every now and then.
I actually
Siri will
had
turn
the
my
idea that, I would love it because I'll say Siri set a timer for me, yada, yada, and she will, and then I'll say thank you, and I just get met with silence.
Yes.
I understand Alexa says,
Thank you.
actually replies with
Yes.
no problem,
Or whatever.
whatever,
After you
Yes.
talk to her enough, she
which
will.
means she's still
Or
listening.
to me, you
but
know what?
yes.
We should just all go back to the clapper.
Yeah, there you go.
Back.
And the studio turns off.
Alexa's not really too smart because back when Windows Windows 98 SE, Windows 98 Millennium was
Yeah.
out, I had a program called HAL 2000,
Okay.
Oh.
home automated living that used.
What are you doing, Adam?
Yes.
Voice commands.
It was used X10 devices, which unfortunately were analog and they could only communicate one way, so you couldn't tell whether or not the light was really on or off. You could say a command, it would function and do the command, but it didn't know if it really finished through. So the cool thing is you could not be home. Okay,
Right.
You can call your house, and as the phone's ringing, hit pound, and your computer, as long as you had the phone
Yeah.
line plugged into your modem, would pick up the phone and say, yes. And you'd say, turn off the porch light. and it'll say, "I have turned off the porch light," and you can say thank you, and it would respond. It would even read your emails and everything for you too.
Wow,
it was
those
pretty.
were the old days.
Those were the old days.
Yeah.
And that was pretty intense.
Yep.
So, it doesn't take much, for Alexa or anybody else to respond properly.
True.
Somebody, come on. We're a little behind the 8 ball here, guys.
Well, but the thing was, I really like the social impact
Yes.
of having it respond, because it then encourages me to say thank you.
It does, yes.
And I think that's important, because we get away from that. We start dehumanizing people, and it starts with being able to dehumanize anything. Exactly. And assume it doesn't have a response. It doesn't, and it becomes a habit. So you walk in, you go, give me a double chai latte, no foam, and you don't say thank you.
No.
Because you have taught yourself to give commands without.
And then you receive a reward
Context.
Without having to
Right.
to give.
Exactly. Yeah, you're rewarded for just your bad behavior.
Rewarded
So
for being an
this is
asshole.
something that I was thinking would be really good, and then I heard I was watching a video where somebody was using their Alexa, and Alexa responded.
Yeah.
Mine responds all
with
the
a "you're
time.
welcome,"
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
and I'm
say
like, wow.
The nice thing is you can say good morning. You can be really social with it.
Yeah.
And it will respond in the proper manner, which is
Yeah,
really nice.
Siri really doesn't have that.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
don't
it's
understand
very
why not.
function oriented, and I think probably they're just not satisfied with anything they've been able to. That they aren't satisfied with Alexa, and they don't want to do anything until they've really ironed out all of it.
Yeah.
And they can make an actual conversation possible.
I think
so. All right.
Yeah.
So Jeff Bezos is going away.
my
Not
God.
really, but
He's not
whatever.
really going
Have a great day,
No.
Jeff.
He's taking
Enjoy.
vacation. He's going to find out what new thing he wants to do. That's what.
He's gonna make an electric
some new
car.
All right.
Industries.
So the guy. You know who Sir Tim Berners-Lee is, right? The inventor of the internet.
Yep.
Right.
This is continuation of the same story.
Right, I know. So
Yep.
World Wide Web inventor Tim Berners-Lee takes on Google, Facebook, Amazon to fix the internet.
Yep.
All of a sudden, this guy's making a comeback.
Yep.
Right.
And it's the privacy issue. And when you look at the way his stuff would integrate with Minds.com or with, Gab or anything else where your information is yours, okay, these new things are actually well positioned to take advantage of his new thing.
Right.
And this is pretty serious stuff.
This will be Web 3.0. Or does it fit the 2.0 world?
It's interesting. It's in many ways jumping back to 1.0 because you're no longer able to find your audience by picking them out based on behavior, and that's where we've gotten really good at that. On the other hand, if these people are willing to sell their data, then you can find them that way. So if they're saying, yeah, it's okay, do it, for my own ease and, convenience, go ahead and do it. So that would still be a 2.0, but it really is, because really 1.0 means that you're shouting to the crowd and hoping somebody hears you.
Right.
2.0 means the crowd is looking for you because you have the answers they want.
Right.
Okay, and you've built, and so what other direction is there? That's the problem with a 3.0 is it's like, well, it's either this way or this way. It's not going to go that way.
What it is you get to put yourself on the sidelines while they tunnel vision to where they want to go, but hope to God they have good they got good peripheral vision.
Peripherals is important.
Hey, I'm over here, guys. Hey, how you doing?
that was 1.0.
But I think it's, but
Yeah.
at least he's pointing it out.
Yeah, no,
He's
he's been on this thing, and his ideas are fantastic. He's the one bringing up the basically blockchain technology that
Right.
allows you to store and save your own personal data and only release it for the things you want it released for.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I will say that now that computers are becoming more powerful and storing that information within the computer,
Your
itself,
phones.
or the devices, yes.
Yeah.
And then the whole back end of the website loads based on whatever your data is, and once it decrypts
What you're allowing them to
Exactly.
see of your data.
Your
You can
stuff
go in
is-
completely anonymous.
yeah, your stuff goes in. You see your stuff that you want to see.
Yep.
But the site itself does not really load your stuff.
No, unless you have an agreement with that site and they are buying your data. Now, one of the interesting things is, we're already doing this to a certain limited extent.
Right.
If you think about, having your credit card information stored on your phone,
Right.
okay? That was
did.
a pipe dream 20 years ago. That was impossible. Now we have it stored. I've got 10 different cards stored on the phone. Okay, you can go through, pick the one you want, and that's what it is. And that's what he's talking about. That kind of privacy for you. You're already accustomed to doing it. Think of it like choosing the credit card you want to pay with off your phone. So, yeah, that's what's going on there, and I think that's going to be stronger than dirt. And I think just like everything else we're seeing, there is a growing demand for it as the legacy media accounts, from social media to YouTube and all those things, they are all too entrenched in what they're doing to be able to pivot into this. The only way we're going to get it is through these startups or upstarts as they may be. And so that's where we should be focusing for the future, quite frankly.
Right.
Yeah. There's no point in staying on the Titanic even if the band is really
So
good.
we're gonna do two articles here. One's the last one of what we're talking about,
Yep.
Rob, is that the global chip shortage is hurting businesses. And then I brought this in because of you.
Yeah.
And could be a national security issue.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Just think of it. Your everything in technology works on chips. We're talking like chips right now for SSDs are for instance the chips that are in them, the RAM chips, the way they store data. DDR6, for instance, is in short supply. They're having a hard time manufacturing it fast enough, and even getting their hands on raw materials. And what's happening is when you start having shortages like this, everything that we deal with in our lives revolve around some kind of a chip, a SoCal
Our
system.
cars.
Well,
40% of the
I'm going to
vehicles
say
value.
right now, okay, that there's no shortage of chips at Publix. I was just in the aisle, and it's packed. Okay,
Yes.
So just so you're aware, Publix still has some kind of chips available. But
It's
go
like
ahead.
it's like right now with people are wanting gaming systems, for
Right.
instance. So that's just
Video
that's
cards.
video cards.
Can't get a hold of
You
them.
cannot get your
Nope.
hands on a video cards. Video card manufacturers are saying that they will not really be getting some supply in until late February.
Why?
And
Why?
because they cannot. There's a shortage of the DDR6 that goes into the newer style.
Why is there a shortage of that?
Well, because
Because it could be
China.
China. It could
From
be
China. It's a China problem. China problem.
China.
China problem.
Say it right. China.
China.
I mean, because this jumps us over to another story. We're going to stay on that because
Yeah.
from light bulbs to 5G, China battles the West for control of vital technology standards.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So they want to set the standards so they can make everything in China. So we are reliant
Yep.
on all the stuff.
And if we
they
have different
produce.
standards, then they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're not fitting into our production schedule."
Right.
Right.
And once again, we are seeing where we are being pushed, okay, to do our own stuff. I mean, I don't know if you've realized it, but global terrorism has gone way down over the last 3 years. Why?
Because
Trump?
well,
Hold on, to a certain extent, yes, but by proxy, what happened?
right now it's a lot easier to manage other countries by either adjusting
Election results? No, the no
supply.
Ready?
Supplies.
Here's the thing. Fracking.
fracking.
Because it's a fracking problem.
It is a fracking problem.
Now we're on a Battlestar Galactica. No, fracking. Because the cost of gasoline, the cost of oil,
Right.
has dropped.
Right.
And so those countries that have, traditionally funded terrorism no longer have the disposable cash.
No.
And they are one-trick ponies in their economies. Look what happened to Venezuela, for example. They aren't funding anybody's terrorist, networks around the world. There's no money to do it with. And so it has crushed the global terrorism market. That's why you don't hear about it anymore. It's because there's no money to pay for the programs. And so a little thing like fracking can have that widespread of an impact in weird areas. And what we're seeing here is with the canceling of China as a supplier, because they're voluntarily canceling the kind of chips we want.
Right.
You're going to see, just like the social media, you're going to see all these new American companies popping up, just like we did with fracking. And you're going to see a whole bunch of new stuff coming out. Now, I just heard there's Dell or who somebody's fighting. Who was making the chips for the iPhones?
Samsung used to.
Yeah, for the iPhone.
Yeah, they used to make the chips.
Now the
Apple's.
M1. Okay, somebody's coming out and trying to leapfrog. Was it Motorola? No.
Leapfrog the M1?
Yeah,
I know
leapfrog the
Intel
M1.
right now.
Intel, that's it. Yeah,
Intel
thank
is
you.
trying to
Taiwan
show them up.
semiconductor.
Yes.
Taiwan semiconductor.
And so it's kind of funny because it's like,
TSMC.
now you want to go ahead and leapfrog it, but you couldn't provide decent chips to Apple in the first place.
Right.
It's like, but yeah, now that you've lost the market share, now suddenly you're finding the ability to innovate.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to pull stuff away in order to make it work. And that's where we're going to be faced with these chips as well.
Yeah, it's going to be the hiccup.
Yep.
It's going to be the hiccup that has to happen.
We're in the hick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
The up ain't here yet.
Is going, oh crap! We've got to get this stuff in the country.
Wait, did you just call us Hicks?
No. We're getting ready for the
I'm a redneck.
Yeah, no,
egg shaman,
we
that's
need
what
the
I
up,
am.
okay?
Yeah,
but
we need a
but
up.
right now, we got the hick.
Yeah, so right now, and I think there's enough stuff out there. There's enough tech. There's enough
some-
cars. We have enough of everything. We shouldn't really be too worried about it right now. But I think this is a big eye opener. You know, obviously, the companies, Apple, other tech companies, car manufacturers, they're like, whoa. What just happened? They need people to buy stuff in order to stay in business. So they're the ones that are going to really push to say, hey, look, here's some incentives.
Yep.
Hey, I know that you guys, you little guys make chips, and could you make this same kind of chip that we have today?
Can you
And
make
they're
it to
gonna-
our specs and our
Can you make-
standards?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And this is what's going to start happening.
Yes.
Start bringing it in house.
The globalization is going to actually collapse, and things are going to be much more individual centric. And it's like in its original design, the United States was set up as different states, and in economics, terms, they could compete with each other. They could innovate. You could see what one state did and go, we should be doing that too. That's a great idea. Oh wow. Oh no, Nebraska tried that. Don't ever do that. Okay. Look what happened there.
Stick with the corn.
So, but the point is here, you're going to see where these different standards are going to be put in place, and we're going to see the benefit of them or the cost of them, what's going to be the up and down on it. And just like, the young startups, we're going to see innovation that we never could have before when we had to go with global standards on everything.
So don't get me wrong. You can go on, like right now, just for ha-has, I went into Amazon to try to find out, say I want a new 2080, right?
Right.
A TI.
Which is an older card.
Which is an older card, $1,500.
Yeah.
The prices have quadrupled. I have a 2080 sitting back there that I paid $600 for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the very card that I bought, which is right here.
You should be buying a 3080 at the $600 price range right now.
That's correct. So this very card that I bought for $600 now, $1,977 and only,
John, take it out of the computer and put it on eBay. You will make a fortune. What is your problem?
I can't do a show.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, that's the difference between assets and wealth. Assets and inventory. Two different things.
I only got 2 minutes left. Let's do something.
Yeah.
I want to find a funny one. Not really funny. I don't want to do.
I want to do the Popeye one. You want to do the Popeye one?
What's that one?
What?
Oh,
Number
Popeye.
6.
Oh,
Number 6 on your list, boss. Oh yeah, this is important. I mean,
technology. Oh yes.
yeah,
So
it's pretty cool stuff.
I've always wanted
Oh, that. Yeah.
my crops to call me and say, or email me and go, "Yo, dude, I got some crap going on. You need to come fix
I need
me.
to be watered.
Water my ass.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I need some nutrients.
This-
Can you
that
please
is-
give me some nutrients?" All right, so
Yeah.
the researchers at MIT have devised a way to allow chemical signals from spinach plants to transmit an email.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
Here's how it works. In a study published in New York, researchers, when the nanosensors detect those compounds, they can send a signal to an infrared camera, which shoots an email alert going, "Hey, yo, I need stuff."
Yeah, so basically the spinach plant itself would bring in the nutrients, and they made it so that it can detect certain chemical
Right.
markers in
Signatures.
the soil.
Yep.
And then it would cause the plant to basically create an infrared style chemical marker that is picked up by the camera.
Right.
And then because of that, the camera then sends a signal to a
triggered to
computer
send an email.
and triggers an email
Yep.
saying, "Hey, there's
Just an
high
alert.
levels of this particular product."
Yeah, someone's at your door.
Yeah,
So, can they-
somebody just lit off a bomb down the street. Hello.
Can they?
And that's-
Can they make it where it says, "Okay, hey, look, I got some crap on me that's going to kill people if they eat me. Don't pick me or come get me."
That's
That-
that's part of what it
this
is.
Yeah, this would be look, my crop, my workers have been in my field shitting on my plants. Please don't eat me.
Exactly.
That is one thing it could be used for. It's also used for high levels of toxins, okay,
right.
or
So to me,
bioweapons,
This
Yeah.
I mean
okay,
this
that
is-
can be detected.
So if they can do it with spinach, they can probably do it with any crop.
Yes, but remember,
Yeah. But spinach,
spinach is
spinach makes you
smarter.
stronger.
Just pop out.
just
Okay.
just remember,
Yeah.
whatever happens, it's going to be
What is it?
It's going to be the joke that you
trademark.
can't
Okay,
tell.
Oh, God.
Patented,
it's going to be
yes.
trademarked. It's going to be patented.
Patented.
The plants can never be. You'll never have the original plant again. Okay, that's why we have the seed bank. So if there's ever a problem and these things turn into walking vegetables that overtake the world, we know that we have to keep the original gene sequence inside the burial
So-
in Antarctica.
So then I'm sorry,
Well, we gotta
we
go.
don't have
We
time
gotta
for
go.
the important
That's the
question.
one we preach it
Are
every
these
week.
now sentient plants and can we not eat
Have a great tech week. We'll see everybody
Bye, everybody.
in 2 weeks. We're taking next Monday off. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
We got the plans cause we are the tech shamans. We understand cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.